So I'm gonna try to find my old haversack. So I got one down here in the building everywhere. So I got one and I already set it out. But I got so much stuff in here. Got backpacks, and clothes, and hunting stuff, and arrow making, and camping stuff, rods. This building here I built to keep all my stuff in. I got a work building up there where I was doing my arrows, but then I got a building there I just store stuff in. So this is a lifetime of an outdoorsman type guy collecting stuff. But anyway, I unloaded all my stuff from the fall gathering down here. That's the patch that Eric Feemster made me. It was an extra one when he made my hats, and he gave it to me, and I just put 2 stitches like the morning before I started. And then of course that's one of the sponsors, but that's pretty cool. I put it on my bread bag and used it, but everybody's got haversacks. This I got at an old, I think it was a Civil War reenactment or something. So I'm gonna take this today, and I seen a guy that had dyed he was making haversacks and dyed them in walnut shells. Well, I got a whole thing out there of walnut hulls in my traps. I could just dip this in, but he had one that was greenish looking, and he used green hulls. So today I'm gonna go down to the creek, see if there's any green hulls left, because I would want it to look kind of greenish like his. And then we'll also we'll wax it. I've got wax, so we'll make this into a nice haversack, and wax it and dye it with greenish, pretty woodland greenish color. So but anyway, but here's my bag I took, and then I took these big totes right here full of stuff this weekend. So I had plenty of stuff. I just didn't need all of it. But again, like I told y'all in my other videos, I always carry too much. But anyway, let's go down there at the creek. That's what I like to be about here, but it's a good bag, and I'm gonna dye it and put wax on it. Then I'll have me a canvas, a really nice haversack. But anyway, I just come down here at the cabin. Of course, you can see I've already got my coffee. We're gonna go out here and see if we can't find some green water. It seems like the smallest trees still have green ones under. The older trees, I guess they fell quicker. So some of these smaller trees, there's some pretty green ones under them. And that's what Alright. We'll start processing some of these. I think that's enough green ones. But the little trees seem to have a more almost solid green and still kind of hard. I got this brush, this little tin, but we'll put the walnuts in this. I got this old bean. Of course, y'all know I like jalapenos. I told y'all the story about me pouring this in the pickle, pouring these out in the pickle jars in the refrigerator. Anyway, you'll have to watch a prior video for that. that one. But anyway, so I think I'm gonna get I'll use this knife. I don't want to stain my edge up too much. But I'm gonna start processing these, the green part off, and it's kind of pretty green. And I'll chop it up a little bit, and I'm gonna put it in this bucket, and then put water in it, and then we'll put the haversack in there and see what we can do about dyeing it this greenish color. The one the guy had was beautiful. I may get my gloves just so I don't get this stuff all over me. But anyway, I'll get this all this processed up, get it in here, and then we'll take it in the cabin and put it on the Coleman stove, heat it up, and then we'll see if, I hope this is big enough to submerge the haversack in, take on some of this color. But it's gonna, I'm hoping, shooting for a color about like that, kind of a cool woodland, I call it like a woodland greenish color. But anyway, it's already doing it to my hand. I whacked as much off just trying to stay around the edge to stay out of the black, because I'm gonna end up with a bunch of black. But there we go, we're gonna put some water in it from the creek. Let's go on down there and get some. I need some more. There we go. Alright, let's go heat it up a little bit and see if we can't get the water to turn good, and we'll buy that haversack. Normally I wouldn't bring the jackery, but since we're going to video in there, I wanted to be enough light, so I went ahead and brought it down here. Use that for the wax. Here's the haversack. I'm getting my coffee. See what this Alabama weather's got warmer. May actually have to use my fan today. We really had a good time at the Georgia bushcraft gathering, but just gonna get down here this morning and try to do something. I really want to fix this haversack and wax it, so just let y'all go along with me to see how it's done. I want to shed this jacket. It was like 60 when I first got up this morning. It's not that late, but ooh. Here's the hat that Eric Feemster made me. He's a Creekside Leather here in he's actually in Ohatchee, right next to here in Alexander, but he does really good work. He can make anything you want. You know, I'm not like advertising for him. You know, I called him, asked him to make me a hat. He made it in like 3 days because I told him I was going to the bushcraft gathering and I wanted it. He's just a great guy. He's just an old country boy like me. But if you need something with leather, give him a call. We'll try to get this pulling, get a little heat. You can get those holes moving right. Take the paper off of it. Almost forgot that. That wouldn't have been good, would it? Alright, let's see if we can't get this thing going. I got a striker here. Oh, okay. I'm gonna cheat and use this, and I won't use my ferrule rod this morning since we're kind of working. Oh yeah, getting better. Let it heat up, then I'll turn this thing down. Whoa, I almost spilled it. I better go get my gloves though, because that thing's gonna be hot and it ain't got a handle on it. of got more black than green, but I made me a little stick. But see the green? But on the inside, because they've been there for a while, they got some black on the inside. But there's a few, and to get the right color that I wanted, I probably should have stuck more with just the green on the underneath side, instead of the ones that had started already changing and had a little black. But it's okay. I hope I get a mixture of black and green. That'll be really cool. So anyway, and I may have to dye it and then let it dry before I apply the wax on it. I'll have to read on it. I wouldn't think I could put that wax on it while it was dry, so we may have to do that tomorrow evening or something in my building, wax it. But I just wanted to come down here to the cabin and do it because it's cool. Thanks you guys for getting a lot of people subscribing to my channel, and I got 5 videos ready to load, but I was at the bushcraft gathering, so I wasn't able to load them. So I'm going to start loading them today, and then maybe I'll have this one ready by the end of the week. I go back on shift for keeping my grandson tomorrow, so that'll be fun. Me and him can edit. He can sit in my lap. He's only 3 months old, but he's a blessing in our life. I may have told you his name's Camp. Cool name. I should have had a bigger bucket, but I'll be able to get this in there. But I'll probably have to take it out and turn it around and reapply it and all, because I don't want it to be like a tie-dye where they get those wrinkles. I want the whole thing to be. It may end up being cool though. You'll never know. But we'll see. And I'm supposed to be doing videos teaching you how to do stuff. What I do is just bring you along to see how I do it, if I mess up or not. But anyway. Ain't it fun just to be out in the outdoors doing stuff? I know I'm just in a cabin, but still just hearing the blue jays and the squirrels and everything. It's cool. Boy, it turns black when it starts heating up. Of course, I guess it's supposed to. Okay. It looks pretty dark to me, and it's hot. It ain't boiling, but it's hot. So I'm gonna turn this off. I'm gonna get my other glove and I'll move the camera and all out there, and we'll dip. All right, let's see what we got here. It's gonna run over, I know, but we're just gonna see. It's hot. Getting a brown, more brown than green, but that's okay. It may be a cross between the green and the, I need to untie that probably. These gloves, I got that foam all over them from where I put it in the cracks of my cabin, that spray foam. And it makes the gloves slick. I'm gonna have to do something to fix that. That is a pretty cool color though, what I'm seeing already. I like it. Having a haversack you do yourself is going to be cool. But I like the color it's putting on the gloves and the side of the bowl and everything, so it may end up being like that instead of the color of the water. Walnut hulls. Pretty cool. All my holes coming out, but that's okay. What if the inside of the bag's getting dyed? Yeah, it looks pretty good. It's going all the way through since it's cotton. It's smoking, so it's hot. It's got a pretty cool color. It's almost more of a tan color than a green, and I'll be okay with that too. No matter what it is, I'll be able to tell people it's a walnut hull dye color. Anyway, let's let that go. Okay, I've been sitting here reading. You're supposed to boil it, let it simmer. I think you're supposed to like let it do a slow boil with the material in it for like 30 minutes, but I think I'm just gonna do what I did, and we'll see how it turns out, because we'll see what the color looks like, and if I don't get the color I want from this after it dries, then we can always go back and do it again. One of these days I'm gonna learn how to follow the instructions when I'm cooking and stuff, but right now, if it keeps this color that it's got, that's pretty close to what I wanted. It's just a matter of if it stays or not, but I think after we heat the wax, put the wax on there, I don't see how it can't stay. But anyway, I'll keep messing around with this and dipping it in and out, and then we'll probably let it dry, and then I'll continue the video. We'll heat up some wax. I'll probably have to come back down here on the Coleman stove to heat up the wax too, and we'll get that done. So I took it out of the dye a while ago, and it's the exact color that I wanted it to be. I'm talking about it's a, you know, it's just a nice tan color. I pulled it out and let it start drying this afternoon. It's the same evening, but man, I just love the color of it. So what we're gonna try to do now is melt some wax and put on there. So let's get that started. I found these blocks. See if I can't cut them. I had to get the big buoy out, and I didn't want to film that. I didn't know how it was going to turn out. So, but anyway, it ended up pretty good. So let's put this wax in this bucket. Turn it on. I found this little burner. We won't have to use gas. We'll see how this melts it. And I may have to put it in like this thing and put water in it, like that guy did. That might be, I might be better off doing that. I may have to go get some water, because it may burn it. See if I got some water right here. We're gonna put this one down inside this little container, inside there. I'll show you. So I got this little container floating in this big container, because that's what that guy did. So we'll see. Instead of putting it directly on the heat, we'll let that melt it. But we'll see what happens. I laid gonna lay my haversack out here. Man, I'm tickled about the color of that thing. And at the fall gathering, a guy I talked to, and I'll get his name and tell it in a minute, but he did this with a green walnut, and he had a mesh bag that stayed inside, and then he pulled the mesh bag out and let it hang for gathering tinder or edibles or whatever. If he didn't want to put them in his haversack, you know, he could let them be hanging out of it. It was actually tied on the inside, but then he could throw it out and it'd still be connected. I thought that was a pretty cool idea. It's starting to melt a little bit in there. I think this is gonna work, as long as the water don't start boiling and try to boil out. I don't know if you can see, but the wax is starting to melt in there. Starting to fill the bottom of that pan up with wax. So I guess that does work better than, you know, you won't maybe not burn it right on the bottom. But anyway, as soon as that gets to melting good, we'll start putting it on the haversack. I wished I would have had it where it was closer. I don't want to get that on that burner. It'll blaze up, I imagine. So that's pretty cool though. It's changing the color, but I guess when I put that hair dryer on it later, it'd probably change it the way it's doing. Oh man, that's pretty cool. Get my rubber glove. The water's boiling. Oh yeah, This is cool. Man, this is alright. Like it when a plan comes together. Usually mine don't. Get these seams good. Okay, I'm gonna keep painting and then I'll inside out now. Go at it again. Alright. Now we'll hang it up over here and put the heat dryer on it, see what happens. I don't know if you can see me over here or not. Alright. This is one of those hot hair dryers. Look at those sparks. See it? It's melting it. Gotta be careful with this thing. I'll catch it on fire. At least it's getting its color back. It's supposed to melt it into the material real good. See it changing colors? It's got a whitish look, but it's sucking it in there, but I think I got it on there too thick. So anyway, I'll keep on with it and then I'll let you see what. It's pretty good. Ooh, I think they're getting hot. Man, it's a perfect color. It's slick. I'm gonna let it dry right there like that and see what happens. I knocked my weed eater down that I had it hanging on to hit me in the head. Luckily y'all didn't see that. Alright, I'll show it to you in a minute when it dries. Man, I'm tickled pink. Look at this thing. I mean, when it dries, man, that is going to be the coolest thing. And it's turned out to be the color. It's dyed with the green walnut shells. They just kept it, I guess, from being, it ain't quite as greenish. That one the guy had, it was more like this. And that's just really a light brown, but it had a lot more green tint in it, the one he had. But anyway, this thing's going to look cool. I may even put one of my new leather patches on it. But anyway, thanks for watching me. And so we took an old Civil War white cotton haversack, and we dyed it with green walnuts that we had harvested this morning at the creek, and now we've applied wax and made a really good haversack. So I'm excited to use it. I finished up my haversack last night. I got the color that I wanted. It ended up looking great. I sewed my patch on today and had a little extra in the strap, so I just sewed it where it had this loop on it. I figured I could put a hatchet or just anything, my shovel, whatever I want in there, but it turned out great. So I'm telling you, it's got some white when you crinkle it up, so that wax, that may be normal for it to do that. If not, I can use that electric heat gun out there and melt it back down later if I need to. It's pretty cool though. It's got the little top. You can put stuff in it when you fold it over. It's got a little pocket on the inside also. So, man, it's nice. These things was expensive at the bushcraft gathering. And now I got me one for an old Civil War cotton cloth bag that I bought like 7 years ago. That, I dyed it with green walnut shells. Anyway, I just wanted to show you the finished product. Creek Camper out.